Live from the PCTV studios, the Monday Morning Quarterback. Your host, Dave Wright.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show. I'm Dave Ridenour, the Monday Morning Quarterback, and we've got a great show planned for you again this evening. A special guest here waiting to come on, and it's going to be fun to talk to him. We also have our Player of the Week and his coach, which is always a great time here on the show. As normal, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, Rick Pennypacker and I are going to break down all last week's action as we get ready for another good show here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. This portion of Monday Morning Quarterback is brought to you by A to Z Furniture. A to Z Furniture is located on 296 South Reading Avenue in Boyertown.
Back here in our studio at the PCTV Network in Pottstown Senior High School. Again, Dave Ridenour, joined by Rick Pennypacker. And Rick, again, welcome to the show. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. I can't believe this week coming up will be the last of our divisional games here in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. The Liberty Division will finish their last games, and so will the Frontier Division. It just seems like we're getting into the meat of the season, and we're getting towards the end of it.
No, it's amazing that the crossover games are going to happen here soon, and there's a couple big games still to happen this weekend, and they'll have some impacts on not only the crossover games but the district playoffs. And right now, I think there's 7-8 teams in the pack that are, looking at going to the district playoffs. So I think this coming weekend and the following crossover game is going to have a lot to say about who goes to districts.
Absolutely. The last 2 weeks really will be meaningful. There's still a couple of really, really important games, which we will look at here in a few minutes. Well, let's get our top five out there, which we normally do. Let's start the show off with that. Our top five is brought to you by the Reinhardt Painting Gang, our good buddies Keith and Ronnie Reinhardt. Started by their father, Claude A. Reinhardt, Deacon as he was known as, way back in the mid-1940s. They started painting and also paper hanging and all kinds of things. Both those two guys were good players. Ronnie, a Hall of Famer from Pottstown, and then Shippensburg here in the Pottstown area. All right, let's get that number up there. Let's see what we got. We got Pottsgrove up there. Still undefeated. Billy Hawthorne still doing a heck of a job in his first season at the Grove. Perk Valley in there, two-time defending champions, in there at the number 2 slot. 2 tough losses at the beginning of the season to the Downingtown teams, but they have won 6 in a row. Springford appears to be peaking at the right time at 7-1. Pope John Paul, 7 wins, tied for the most in school history, which we'll talk about. And Upper Marion, let's throw them in there. Number 5, Vic Brown's doing a nice job in his second year turning that program around. And there is our top 5, again, brought to you by the Reinhardt Paint. Richard?
Well, I think the Chad Brubaker at Springford is going to have a little bit to say about some motivational with that top 5, with Springford being 3 and Perk Valley being 2. But I think you got the right. I think it's the right thing. I still think that until someone knocks Pottsgrove off, someone knocks Perk Valley off. You know, they're either 1-2, put them 1-2 either way. They're the 2 best teams in the league until someone beats them.
I know, and that's been your philosophy all season long, and you know it's been a tough year for that. But again, I think they are the top 5 teams, and maybe you'll see as this week and next week come out, as the order may shake up, it may not. We'll see. That's why they play the games on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. All right, and we'd also check out the scoreboard. We'll check out the scores for the Liberty Division and also the Frontier Division. That's brought to you by the Paul Bauer scoreboard. There you get a good look at Paul there. Give him a call at 610-624-6800 for all your law needs. He'll handle everything. He does a heck of a job. He's helped me out a lot of times. A very, very reasonable and a great guy. Give him a holler. He is certainly an attorney that you can count on. Give Paul a call today. All right, let's check out these scores. As we see there on the left-hand side is the Liberty. Perk Valley doubles up the Bears. Springford getting ready for their big one in their little revenge game over O&J. Norristown with a nice win over Methacton. In the Frontier Division, Pottsgrove plays well, even though Upper Marion's defense has improved. Pope John Paul staying in the hunt there as they knock off the Trojans, which was our PCTV game of the week. And Phoenixville all over Upper Perk by 49. All right, Richard. Well, let's look at that first game that we have in the Frontier Division. We'll start with this week. Pottsgrove and Upper Marion, your former squad, 17-7. And, you know, some people may look at that and say, oh, man, that was really a close game. It was this or that. It was a close game on the scoreboard. Upper Marion's defense did really play a good game. But Pottsgrove won their 3rd straight. They clinched it for them, their 3rd straight Frontier Division there in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. So congratulations there. But, you know, every time that the game seems to get tough, this Jay Sisko's name sort of emerges.
He's a winner.
You look at this guy, and he doesn't appear to be, you know, he's not 6'4", he's not 200 pounds, he can't throw at 75 yards, but every time they need a big play, Mr. Sisko's involved.
He comes through when he has to, you know, and Jay is a 2-year starter over there, and, you know, he was only 2 for 9 passing the other night, but he ran for 88 yards, and you know, that option they run over there, the quarterback is probably the most important person on the team, and he has to do all the reads and everything, and Jay does a tremendous job. And the one thing I think Billy is doing a great job is he's getting Jay in space. You know, Jay is a fast kid. He's one of the fastest kids on the team, I would expect over there. So I think that, you know, getting him out in the open has really helped the offense a little bit. The one thing that really stuck out to me was Pottsgrove and Upper Marion only had 9 first downs apiece. So there must have been some good special team plays. There must have been some short fields given up. But Pottsgrove, you know, if you can't run the ball in Pottsgrove, you're not going to beat them. And they're just a stout football team up front. You know, I think they had 3 turnovers the other day on defense, and Bradford and Moser and those guys over there, they got that defense playing pretty well.
Well, you know, you talk special teams a little bit. You got to talk about Mike Sereni. I mean, Mike Sereni is an all-league caliber kicker, both as a kicker and a punter. Yes. I mean, he has done a heck of a job, and you throw them into the mix, and you get Springfield and those guys in the return game. They got a solid group.
And Coach Ford does a great job over there. You know, he takes a lot of pride in his special teams, and you know, I think Mike Sereni came out from the soccer team last year to play football for us, and I think he concentrates on football now. He's been to a lot of the camps and the all over the country here, and I think he's a Division I kicker. I really do, and I think the future for him is very bright.
And one of my buddies that I really sort of fell in love with watching him play, that young sophomore, Riley Howard, who plays safety for him, but he covers those kicks, man, and he's not a big guy. I walked off the field beside him, and I'm shaking my head, but he plays a lot bigger than his body, that's for sure.
And he's probably getting that from Bedolis, but Bedolis and Adams, they love to go down there and cover kicks. I remember I used to have to try to get him off the special teams, and they would fight me to get back on there. So, Howard is just filling in the mold of those two guys.
And Ryan Bedolis, you bring up again, probably the premier two-way player into the league with another great season, particularly on the defensive side, catches the ball coming out of his tight end slot, too, when they decide to throw it. And Isaiah Taylor, obviously they were looking for a running back to replace a guy that did a lot of great things at Pottsgrove the last 2 years, and they were trying to find that guy. And Isaiah Taylor really has settled into that running back.
He's done a very good job, yes, but I still think that they have the Colbert kids is doing well, and Glover and those guys, and Taylor and Cisco. But again, I'm a firm believer in this, and I know a lot of coaches don't agree with me. But if you can't run the football, you're not going to win many games. And Upper Merion only had 13 yards rushing, and that's a credit to the front 7 or 8 of Pottsgrove. Those kids up front are pretty tough.
And they had 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and 1 fumble. Their bright spot was Clayton to Clayton. They threw an 81-yard touchdown pass as they got behind the secondary. As we mentioned, Dale Clayton is improving as a quarterback for Upper Merion. Still has a tendency to throw the ball into coverage a lot of times. And I think Vic Brown said something I really liked. He says, we don't accept moral victories, but we still have measure their losses in games, which they don't take solace in winning that game, but they have come a long way where they're not getting mercy ruled and things like that down there in Upper Merion.
I saw him play against O&J in the beginning of the year, and I told you here that after the first quarter against O&J, Vic Brown and those guys played pretty hard. And I thought that, they've been doing well all year. I watched them a couple of times on film, and they're getting better and better. And Don Jackson does a tremendous job. He's got some great coaches down there. The one thing about Pottsgrove, too, let's go back, they're home for the rest of the year. This week they're home, and then next week again the crossover game they're home, and they'll be home in the playoffs first 2 rounds. So they got 4 straight home games, and it's hard to go over there and win in that stadium. So,
it certainly is.
So again, I think that the Grove is on fire right now.
And again, the stadium named after Rick Pennypacker for his 29 years and all the things he did in building that program. Now let's look at Don Grinstead's gang. They had been up and down. They had really been struggling, trying to find their way. We talked about them offensively, especially there, Rick, is, Alex Washington. You like some of their kids that they had that could run the football. Pinella was a guy that we thought could play a little bit, and they couldn't find themselves. But, man, I tell you what, they just turned it all on, and a big win at home against Upper Perk, 49-0.
Total domination by Phoenixville in every aspect, whether it's the run game, pass game, special teams. There was just a total domination. I think Upper Perk had one yard of rushing.
Negative one yard.
Negative
1 yard rushing. Yeah.
And they had 47 yards total offense. Yep. And so Pinella and Washington, they're getting on. Pinella I think had 95 yards. Washington had 92 yards, and Pantani, they're just coming on. And I thought at the beginning of the year that's what they would be doing. And, I think Don's doing a pretty good job. And he's got his hands full this weekend going to Pottsgrove. But, you got to give them credit. You got to give those kids credit. They're fighting and they're battling and they're doing a great job.
And it was a homecoming victory down at Washington Field in Phoenixville. So they love winning those homecoming games. Now let's look at the other side. And boy, you and I both thought that Tommy Hans's gang would certainly be competitive and be a 500 group at least this year. They had the Weary kid back. They had that little Tyrese Reed who can run. He's a track star, and they had enough kids coming back. But at 1-7 overall and 0-4 in the Frontier Division, what in the world's wrong over there in Red Hill?
I don't know, but I will tell you that last year when we played against them, their front offensive and defensive lines were some of the toughest kids we played against, and they were all seniors. So I'm sure that Tommy had to rebuild that whole offensive defensive line. And, they're tough kids. I mean, but something's just not clicking over there right now.
Right, yeah.
And I'm sure they're young, and I'm sure that, if you ask Tommy, he's probably, looking to next year, getting a lot of young kids in there. So I think they're building for the future. I think there's a lot of teams in the league that are building for next year. So hopefully they're making the right decisions.
Yeah, and Tommy was not happy with his squad. Said they were very undisciplined on Friday night, and they're making turnovers and penalties and things and stuff that you just cannot win games, particularly when you're looking up at the downside. And then, of course, we had the game was right here on the PCTV network. Was Pope John Paul came into Grigg Memorial Field at Pottstown and knocked them off 20-12. Pottstown's defense was very stout on Friday night. They held down Pope John Paul to only 20 points. So they had really been scoring. Kamal Gray, Scarbeck, Cormos, all those guys, C.J. McCafferty. They can really put points up. Give Mark Fisher's gang a lot of credit, but still they come up on the low end of the score.
Yeah, I was a little surprised at this score. I thought that maybe PJP had too many weapons for Pottstown. But again, here it is. It's a 7-0 game. They kick off, and Figueroa runs 86 yards, and now all of a sudden it's 7-6 at halftime. Now Pottstown's saying, hey, we can play with these guys, and they did. And they had a great, they had a great game plan. They did the right things. They just got a little bit manhandled at the end of the game. McCafferty kid, he has 10 receptions.
10 catches, yeah.
So I think the Gray kid is still, getting comfortable in that offense. But, then when PJP needed to put a drive together, they did, and the Tau went in for 9 yards and scored the winning touchdown to win the game. So, but, hey, Pottstown has a lot to look forward to. They're going to get in the district playoffs. They're going to be probably the 2 seed in the district playoffs. And and I know that this win boosted PJP up to the number 1 seed. So it was a good win for PJP, but I think Pottstown still has a lot to come out. They can take a lot out of that game.
And again, congratulations to Rory Graver, the coach down there at the Pope John Paul. 7 wins, ties for the most in school history. He certainly would like to tack a few more on there before the end of 2018. One note there, Josiah Wiggins did have to leave the game in the second half with a leg injury. Hopefully he'll be okay and get him back on the field. But Darius Smallwood, a sophomore with not a lot of experience, came in, and Coach Fisher lauded him for the effort that he put out there in that tough game against PJP. All right, gang, well, let's take a quick timeout. We come back, we're going to look at the big boys now, the big schools, the Liberty Division. When we come back, Rick Pennypacker, Dave Ridenauer on set here on the Vallejo Stun Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you. John H. Griesemer Jr. Call us today or visit our website now.
Liberty Vision football play was pretty good again this week. Norristown, let's take them first. They had their little backyard rival with Methacton. As Norristown's able to win another game, Coach Milligan wins his second game. He has to be excited about that in a 14-7 slugfest over Methacton, and a game that was marred by penalties. You know, you and I had talked about this a few times, and 18 penalties Norristown had alone. in that ball game, and it's tough to win games that way. I'm surprised they were able to pull it out, but Daniel Watson is getting a little better coach at the quarterback position, and Norristown just did enough to knock off Methacton.
Well, I haven't seen this Watson kid play yet, but I hear he's a tremendous athlete, not only throwing the ball but scrambling and running around and everything. But I also think that this Christian Thomas kid is really come into his own. He's played well for the last couple of weeks down there. Had a couple of TDs this week. But again, the thing that's really driving me crazy right now in the Pac-10 is all of these penalties. I cannot believe that a team with 18 penalties, 145 yards, it wins a game.
I know, it's crazy.
So there was not much offense by either team in this game. I think it must have been a great defensive game. But congratulations, Coach Milligan, and getting his first Pac win.
Yeah, Methacton was held to 87 total yards.
Right.
You talked about not being able to run the ball, Rick, and again, they only had 60 yards on the ground. They threw 3 interceptions. So tough way to win for Methacton. Give Norristown a lot of credit there. As they win their second game, they go to 1-3 in the Liberty Division. Now, a game that we had talked about, we had Chad Brubaker and Ryan Engro, who really continues to impress at the quarterback position. Only a junior, had a 6-touchdown game the week before. Comes out, and they take on O&J. A little bad blood between the two. A nice little rivalry developing between O&J and Springford. And Springford gets a little bit of revenge with a 30-7 win at O&J on their homecoming game. I know Chad liked that little extra push there as his squad knocks off the Wildcats.
Yeah, I was at this game. I was there for 3 quarters. I don't know how Coach Brubaker handled himself so well. I got to credit him because some of the penalties that were being called on Springford, it was amazing in the first half. Springford, again, they were penalized, I think, for 12 times for 145 yards. Every time you turned around, Springford was 2nd and 30 or 2nd and 25, and the penalties that were being called were something I didn't even see. It had to either be verbal or something because there was not anything going on. But it was 9-0 at halftime, and then they came out Springford and started. Brill got on his little track, and then Scarcell caught a nice pass, and next thing you know, Engro's doing his thing, and it just snowballed. But O&J couldn't run the ball. The quarterback threw the ball well, but I was more impressed with the way Springford came back in the second half because at 9-0 in the first half, that game without the penalties could have been a lot worse. But it was close in the first half. I was surprised at how many penalties were.
And Martin, the senior who was a player of the week a few weeks ago for us here on the Monday Morning Quarterback, was nursing an injury that he only played because it was his senior.
He did not look.
Yeah, it was his senior year, and he certainly was not at 100%, which did not help out as they only had 27 yards on the ground. But you talked about one of the things that it was sort of unusual for Springford. We were sort of kidding Chad Brubaker a couple of weeks ago, was the fact that they outrushed themselves with the rush and pass game because normally it's the other way around. But as you mentioned, Brill had a nice game.
Yeah, I don't think Chad took very well when we said that because when I said that they had like 50 yards rushing the week before, I think he kind of like looked at me but they had 350 yards passing.
Right.
But the other thing I was impressed with, they have a big kid up front now.
We'll talk about this.
Malicious.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I pronounced his name
Walter
right.
Malicious. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 6'7", maybe
295.
Yeah. He had 3.5 sacks.
Yeah.
And they couldn't block him, and. I saw Coach Shine and Coach Mick. They put them in different places. They standing them up sometimes and rushing. But I'm very impressed with some of the Springford kids. They play hard. The defense plays hard. I like the little cornerback back here, Yuba. He's always around the ball, always playing well. And I'm sure there'll be a game. We'll talk about this later, but I'm sure they'll have them ready for this weekend. And of course, the last game is PV doubles up Boyertown 42-21 as they move to 4-0 in the league and 6-2 overall with 6 straight wins after those 2 tough losses to Downingtown West and Downingtown East to start off their season. They're still battling their quarterback issues with his health.
Cole Peterlin has been bothered by some ankle injuries, and hopefully he's going to be back as close to 100% this week as he can get. But, you know, with Mersha and Sturm, some running backs, defensively they come up big. This Rowley kid has 2 interceptions and a scoop and score on the defensive side. They don't look big and bad on defense, but I'll tell you, they're a bunch of gnats and bees stinging you all the time.
Well, you know, Boyertown again, you know, didn't stop anyone. PV, it looks like they could run the ball, throw the ball at will against them. You know, a couple turnovers here and there, but PV was up 35-14 at halftime. One of the hardest things to do is be up by that score and come out in the third quarter and have the same intensity as you had before. But again, you know, they held, and I know people are going to laugh at me saying this, but Boyertown only had 4 yards passing. And, you know, that sounds like one of our Pottsgrove games, you know, we're 257 yards rushing and 4 yards passing. But you know, you got to be able to throw the ball against PV. If you can't throw the ball, then Coach Young and those guys are going to come after you pretty hard, and I think that's what happened to them.
Well, you know, and the thing about Boyertown is they got their quarterback back, Aiden Mathias, who is a pretty good quarterback. He's had a good year, but he's had some problems with injuries. And, you know, Jamie Moshe is certainly one of the most talented kids in the league. You know, the track guy, he could do a little bit of everything, catch the ball out of the backfield, run the ball. But those two guys really have had a tough year because their surrounding cast has not been that good.
Yes, and I think that their defense has really been what I think everyone's question. I think their offense, they run the ball. They had 237 yards rushing against Perk Valley. Rushing the ball is not really the problem over there. I think it's stopping people. Again, Boyertown, 16 penalties for 156 yards, and PV 11 for 100 yards. That's 260 yards of penalties. So we had 3 games in the pack this weekend that had over 250 yards of penalties.
It's not
to me.
fun.
That's I don't know what's going on.
And again, Boyertown, we like T.J. Miller. We think he's going to do a heck of a job over there. He's got some interest. They've got kids coming out, but they win their opener against Upper Perk, and they have lost 7 straight games. So tough sledding over there in Boyertown. All right, Coach. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to look at these 6 games coming up this weekend, and then we got a special guest waiting to come on the board with us as well. So, quick timeout. We'll come back. We're going to look at this week's games right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this. Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. we take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
We're back here on Saturday at the PCTV Network Studios. Pottstown High, Dave Ryan there, the Monday morning quarterback. Rick and I having some fun back and forth here. And one of the things I did want to remind everybody, there is the Tri-County Area Sports Hall of Fame, Saturday, October 27th at the Sunnybrook Ballroom. 5:30, everything starts. $40 per ticket. You can get in touch with me. We got some seats available. We got a good group of 7 people going in this year, and one of them was your guy, Timmy Hughes.
Shout out to
Timmy Hughes getting inducted this year, a former defensive coordinator, and now who's really done great coaching the girls softball down at Springford. But he will be getting inducted on Saturday night.
Tremendous athlete at Pius and Kutztown. Did a great job coaching. And whether it's coaching football, coaching softball, he's done a class job, and he's well deserving of this honor.
Yeah, he is, and I'm looking forward to that evening. Again, that is Saturday, October the 27th. All right, Coach, real quickly, because we got to get our special guest on there. He's getting ready because he's going back to school tomorrow. Let's check the Liberty Division. We got Norristown and Boyertown, 2 teams that are both sort of trying to find their way. 2 young coaches there. Norristown coming off a big win at Methacton. Boyertown still trying to figure it out. It's a home game at Boyertown. Maybe this is a game TJ can get his group ready for.
Yeah, if he can run the football and play a little defense, they'll win the game.
O&J at Methacton. Again, on paper, O&J appears to be the stronger of the team, but Dave Lotier has them playing better, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. As he mentioned, they haven't had those games, those lopsided games where they had the mercy rule and the 35-0 thing going on. They have been in a lot of close games. Still haven't got over the hump offensively, but they're hanging in there, O&J and Methacton.
O&J, Marcus Martin plays, they'll have advantage. If he doesn't play, I think it'll be a close game.
And the game that we're going to feature right here on the PCTV network, PV at Springford. Again, this has turned out to be a heck of a rivalry. And my kids played for Springford. I didn't realize the rivalry they had with Perk Valley until I watched them play, and I got involved in all that stuff too. But again, these are certainly the 2 premier teams in the area, particularly in the Liberty Division. Should be a good one. Get down there early. PV at Springford, Coach.
I don't know. This is going to be. It's always one of those games, and I think Rob Heiss will have his kids ready. I know Chad and him are both great coaches. They'll have their kids ready. There'll be a great atmosphere. I think one of the things, if you like high school football, go watch this. The student section. I've liked watching the student section.
Yeah, me too.
On TV. I never saw it. I'm going to probably go to the game and try to hang out someplace where no one knows me, just so I can see the student section, because I love watching the excitement and spirit that we have at this game.
And I tell you what, for all those schools that are out there, watch this game. Scotty Furman and I will be broadcasting the game for the PCTV network. Check this out, because you will see school spirit at its height. Both Perk Valley and Springford will be out in mass, and this is the way all the high school games should be. Get out there and support your classmates and your friends out there. Have a good time with that. Hey, Coach, on the other side, I'll tell you what, here's another interesting game. Upper Marion takes on Pope John Paul Saturday afternoon, with a lot of things happening with that game. Implications as far as playoffs, positioning for the crossover game. I think that's going to be a pretty nice game. Upper Marion takes on the Johnnies on Saturday afternoon.
That's going to be a great game. I think that Upper Marion's playing great defense right now. They got a good pass defense, and I think that, PJP, Gray and those guys are hitting their stride, so I think it's going to be a good game. Very, very, very there's so much playoff implications on this game. It's unbelievable.
And again, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Phoenixville travels to Pottsgrove. Pottsgrove, again, with this nice little home stretch coming down there with all their games at home. Don Grinstead's gang coming off 49-0 win over Upper Perk. Pottsgrove already clinched. Hopefully, Coach Hawthorne does not want to let down here going into the playoffs.
There won't be a letdown over there. He'll have those kids ready to play. It's homecoming. I don't know if it's senior night or not, but they'll be ready to play. Maybe the game will be over in an hour and 15 minutes because both teams are going to try to run the football. So, it'll be a good game, but I think Coach Hawthorne will have those kids ready. And the final game is Pottstown travels to Upper Perk. Again, Upper Perk, we're still scratching our heads over those guys over there in Red Hill. They hadn't had a good season. Pottstown, again, in the middle of some things here at 4-4, trying to keep their position for their playoff run as well. How do you look at that one? Well, I think Pottstown, they're coming on, and Tommy's got his hands full over there right now. So hopefully, he can rally the troops, circle the wagons, and get a win here. I don't know if he has enough speed and talent to play with Pottstown right now. Wiggins, if he plays, it's going to be
I think he would be an X factor for sure.
I
if
think
Wiggins
so
plays,
Pottstown
certainly would have the edge there. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we got our special guest who's been waiting patiently over there. He's eating all the chicken wings and everything else as he's bulking up for his football day. So we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we got a special guest for you right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this. Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Hey, we're back here with our special guest, and we're really having a lot of fun, and it's great to see him again, a guy that I think everybody will remember for a long time. He was certainly one of our guys and a great, great player at Pottsgrove, and he was a former Big 33 All-Star Game guy. He was an All-League guy. He was a Monday Morning Quarterback Player of the Year guy. So we have a lot of fun, and I want to apologize to him. I've been spelling his name wrong for 2 years now, and he said, I didn't want to say nothing about it. Rasul Faison, who is playing up in Connecticut now at the Salisbury School. And Rasul, first of all, thanks for stopping by. I know you were home for a couple of days. You got to go back tomorrow. And I want to thank Coach Pennypacker for letting me know that you're home. And good to see you, man. Bulked up a little bit, 20 pounds or so, huh? Yeah. Eating that iron now, huh? Lifting weights and carrying on.
Yeah.
Good for you. You know, Coach, we talked about it a lot over the years and all the things that Rasul was able to do. And I was just looking at some of the stuff, and we have our Player of the Week waiting to get on there and laughing a little bit at some of the stats. You rushed for over 2,900 yards and 42 touchdowns last year. And I think we can add up the first 4 or 5 guys in the league this year, and they don't measure up to that combined. And it's mind-boggling what he was able to do, Rick.
Yeah, it was, and I think Rasul will tell you he knows he's got everything that he needs. He's got the speed, the agility, the quickness, and all that. But he's also a tough runner. He had a great offensive line in front of him, and he always would give those guys credit. That's one thing I always loved about Rasul. All the reporters, when they would talk to him after the game, the first thing he would say to them is the credit goes to my offensive line, and I think that's. He's doing the same thing now in Salisbury. He's doing the same thing up there, and I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of what he's done. I'm proud of the way he's handled himself. He's had some tough times here, but I think he's on the right track now, and I think he's doing very well.
It's great because we got a lot of youngsters that like to watch the show, and they look up to all you guys. Obviously, everyone knows about what you were able to accomplish in your high school career. But tell some of the guys out there, tell us about your school day and stuff. Tell them what you have to wear and all the things. You're going to a school which is very similar to Den Hill School, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same exact thing. It's just it's all boys school, but Hill School is co-ed, and we still got to wear a suit and tie. We got to go to school from – our classes are similar to college classes, so, we get a lot of free periods and stuff, but we got 4 classes a day. Then we go to our athletics for 3 hours. Then we have mandatory study hall every night at 7:30 to 9:30,
So you're, and high school's a fun time, and we've all loved our high school times and stuff, but a lot of times it doesn't get you ready for what you're going to go into, whether it's the next level, with the prep school or college, and you're learning how to study and how to learn, really. Tell us a little bit about how your grades are and what's your grade point average and everything.
I have a 3.7 right now. It's completely different because down at Salisbury we have mandatory tutors, study hall every night, so they make sure you get your work done. And it's just as in high school, at a public school, you just go home every night. You have a choice to do your homework. Here, we gotta do it.
How's the dorm life and stuff like that? Are you in with football guys? Or are you in with just anybody? What's your living conditions like up there?
So we get 4 postgraduates on our football team, and they usually put 2 together, but we have 3 skill players and 1 lineman, so our lineman went with another lineman, so we got 3. So I'm in a room with 2 other guys, and they're both post-grad. So
okay, and a post-grad for those people that are graduated from high school, but they need to get a little bit bigger, stronger, maybe work on their grades or whatever before they go on to the next level. Tell us a little bit about the level of play up there that you have as well, because we don't really know what kind of football they play, but tell us a little bit about the brand of football you're playing.
It's definitely, the competition is definitely very competitive and it's hard. We play, this week we play a kid with Alabama offers, Notre Dame, Clemson. So we play some big time commits, and it's a good atmosphere in them games, so I enjoy it a lot.
Now, and Coach, he was telling us a little bit about the facilities they have up there. Tell everybody tell them a little bit about your facilities and how your week goes as far as practice and game day and stuff.
So like our facilities, we got 3 indoor football facilities. We have one is a full football field in summer, like 55 yards. The other 2, I believe, and we practice indoor when it's raining. So like no matter if it's thunder and lightning, we still have a place to practice. Before games, we warm up in our indoor facility. We got multiple gyms inside. So we got like, I want to say 5 gyms. We have like 4 weight rooms. We got a hockey rink inside. So we have a lot there, yes.
Yeah. Well, and Rick, maybe you could even tell everybody as we back up a little bit about how Rasul ended up at Salisbury. You know,
Wow,
and
that
everybody
was-
had Stony Brook, and
Yeah.
next thing you know is you're and end up in a prep school.
Yeah, it was kind of funny how this all happened, and I think Rasul will laugh at it too. I never heard of Salisbury School, and I don't think Rasul ever did either. But this past spring, some coaches from Salisbury were at Villanova. They were down there looking over, watching spring practice and everything, and they got with my son, and they said, we're looking for a running back. And my son said, my dad has a kid up at Pottsgrove that needed PJ year, so he called me. I got Rasul out of class. We jumped in the car, drove down, and he met with the coaches, and the rest of it's history, And but it's a testament to him because a lot of kids wouldn't do what he's doing here, and this is a tough adjustment for him. He's away from home. He's like going to college, and he knows what he has to do. He's getting a lot of colleges are looking at him. A lot of colleges are calling me about him and or texting me, and so he's got that going for him. But it's
No girls. That was probably hard for you, wasn't it? There,
very hard for
you-
him.
yeah.
Anybody who knows
and that's
Rasul-
why he's got a
anybody who
3.7
knows-
average too, by the
There
way,
you
out
go.
there. No girls up there, so he's going to study, lift weights, gain all that weight, and still play football. That's awesome. But tell us a little bit about your season so far. You've had a couple of big games, particularly as of late.
Okay, so we're 3-1 right now. We start later in Connecticut. Like our first game wasn't until September 22nd. We're in PA. We started in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, August 24th, I think y'all started. So, yeah, we started late. We're 3-1. Right now I have 15 touchdowns. I have 851 yards. So, I'm doing pretty well.
You running the spread kind of stuff, or what kind of offense you running? Is something you had to get used to?
Yeah, it's similar to Pottsgrove. We run a lot of zone, and we run a lot of play action when teams are filling the box and for the run. But we
They
just
put you
go
out
over
in the
the top.
patterns at all? Are you out in routes?
Not really.
No?
I'm mainly in the backfield. I do a couple of screen plays twice a game.
Playing any defense?
I got in defense this week because a kid got into it, so he had to sit out the rest of the quarter, and they put me in at safety, and I got a sack.
Did
I
you?
blitzed, and I just got right to the quarterback.
That's good stuff.
my
That's right. See, Benny Patrick
I'm
should have
never
put you in
gonna
on
end up-
defense. Now, I told you
He's
that.
gonna play
For
both
2
ways.
years, they put him out in safety. He would have been a safety. Would have
He-
stopped
he
a lot
Played
of stuff.
safety the first game I ever played. We played Methacton. I played. And Ember's Weird Town, but I was gassed by halftime. So
That's right.
he's
You
pretty
were-
good,
You have to
yeah.
save. Well, when you run the ball for almost 3,000 yards and stuff, I guess you do need a little bit of break here and there. But it's great to see you do. Now, you played in the Big 33. You played
Yes.
against some big time competition. Tell us a little bit about that game. You're playing against the best guys from Maryland, I would assume, right, in that Big 33 game. Tell us a little bit about that experience as well.
Yeah, that was a great experience. I played with multiple Penn State commits. I played with kids on Maryland. A couple of them went to Maryland. A couple went to UVA. So it definitely showed me where I was at, playing against those commits. And I felt like I hung with them. I did a really good job. And mainly it was a lot of it showing during practice, because the game is it's an all-star game. So we had to rotate.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to touch the ball as much. So but I feel like when I did get the ball, I did what I had to do.
You miss
I feel
you miss Friday nights around here. It was always a pretty good time.
Yeah, for
Watching. I think you were number 2. I think, right?
Yeah, I was number 2.
You're number 2 running around. You miss
Yeah.
those Pottsgrove games and
Yeah.
Friday nights.
Yeah, I miss it a lot. I mean, Connecticut, we play on Saturdays. We got one Friday night game, but we play on Saturdays, some Saturday nights, but it's definitely nothing like the Friday nights at Pasco.
All right, well, we got to get into recruiting. You know, Coach Pennypacker brought it up a little bit, and I think we have a little a graphic for you here that there's some teams that are really after Rasul Faison, and this is all the way down in Florida in Boca Raton at FIU, which is pretty cool. That's Butch Davis, and he's the coach there now, and he's been at Miami, he's been in the NFL, he's been all over, and he's the coach at FIU. And I told you, I said, I don't know if I'd go down there till the end of my recruiting deal, because once you go there, you're not going to want to come home, brother. What do you think about FIU with Rasul Faison up there?
Yeah, that was pretty nice. I was shocked myself. I'm supposed to be visiting in December to go see how I like that school. So,
well, if you wait till January, I'll be in Florida. I'll come down and hang out with you. I'll be your guy. I'll be your agent. I'll be whatever. I'll come down there. That's beautiful, a beautiful territory down there. They play good football at FIU.
They sure
too,
do. Butch Davis does a great job, and the local kid Steve Siassi from Springford is the offensive line coach down there. So I think we have some ties up here, and he's recruiting.
And he's recruiting. Oh, that's really cool. It's awesome. Well, look, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you got a lot of stuff to do. You want to say goodbye to your parents and everything, but make sure you let us know when you're around again, and we wish you nothing but the best, Rasul. You've always been good with us here, and you certainly have made us proud and all the things you've been able to do. Check him out. Rasul Faison, he's up in Connecticut now at the Salisbury School, doing a heck of a job, and certainly he'll let us know where he's going to go to college when that time comes as well. All right, well, we got the player of the week and his coach waiting patiently for us. We're going to get them on the show real quick, get an opportunity to meet them. That's always a fun part. But again, I want to say thanks again to Coach Pennypacker for making sure Rasul gets here, and best of luck to number 2 for the rest of the season. We'll take a quick time out. When we come back, we got more right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this. Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
And again, we want to thank Mike's Brick Oven Pizza, my man, Michael Crater. He does a great job. He sends over food for us, for our guests and our staff here every Monday night. And I want to thank Michael. He's a great, great guy. And I know he loves Coach Mick. He was a pious guy, and he sends his best to Coach Mick, as we all do, as he's still recovering from his little health issues. And we think about Coach all the time. But again, Michael always wants me to tell Coach that he says hello. And Mike's brothers played for Coach Mick actually at St. Pius. But again, I want to thank Mike's Brick Oven Pizza. Well, here we go. We got our player of the week from Perkiomen Valley, Austin Rowley, and his coach, Rob Heist, PV, the two-time defending champs in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. They're getting ready for their big game Friday night against Springford. But Rob, first of all, thanks for coming. It's always great to talk to you, and congratulations, Austin, on a real big game against Boyertown. And first of all, tell us a little bit about your night. A couple interceptions, scoop and score, all kinds of things, huh?
Yeah, it was a pretty good night. I think it was probably one of my last games at my home field, so I knew I had to make it more of a memorable one, so I thought that my teammates and I definitely made it one that we could remember.
Well, I'll tell you, Coach, he looks like he's still playing junior high ball. You bring these young, good-looking dudes down here who are really good athletes and bright kids, and I really enjoy looking forward to meeting these guys, and he's certainly one of them. But man, this little baby-faced assassin, I tell you, he'll hit you. He'll hit you. I like watching him play.
I mean, we love watching Austin play at PV. He has a certain chip on his shoulder when he's on the field. He plays with tenacity, and I think his teammates really respect that about him. He's been a captain for us this year, and I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's up there ranked in the state as far as tackles for safety, which maybe isn't the greatest thing as far as defensive coaches are concerned.
Yeah,
our
where those linebackers at? Come on now,
making
come
a lot
on,
of tackles, but I mean, it speaks to his. He didn't shy away from contact.
Well, that's what I know, and because I remember playing in the '70s in the Chestmont League, and we had Coach Phil Henderson and all these big schools, and they didn't come out with guys that looked like this guy. They came out with men with hair all over their faces, and they're trying to scare you. And this guy, you open him up, and you see this big heart in there, and he certainly does play a lot bigger than he appears to be. But Austin, it's a good thing, because when you get as old as us, you'll still be young looking.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm still young. But seriously, guys, you lose the first two games of the year. You are one guy that really stacks your schedule and tries to play the big-time schools in your 6A non-divisional games. You lose to both Downingtowns in the beginning. Tell us a little bit about how the season started out for you, Rob.
I mean, we played both Downingtowns tough. They were terrific football games. We were right in the game with Downingtown West, who I think is 8-1 right now, just beat East last weekend without their starting quarterback, who's a Division I recruit, Will Howard. So we were right there at the end. A couple mistakes that we made that wound up being the difference. And then East we knew was going to be a challenge, especially with some of the position players that we graduated last year on both our offensive and defensive lines. And Coach Matt at Downingtown East likes to ground and pound and sort of ball control. And they did a nice job sticking to their scheme, and we fought. I was proud of the way our kids came out in the second half, and we were right there at the end. So, those two games didn't go the way that we wanted, but I'm hoping that they're going to pay dividends for us now, that we have to play Springford this week, and we're kind of battle-tested. So.
Okay, well, the coaches have their perspective on it, but coming from a player, what was the locker room like? You're one of the seniors. You're one of the captains. Was it tough keeping everybody together, Austin, or were you guys mad that you lost? What was the attitude and the feelings coming out after the first two losses of the year?
Well, I know that all of us knew what we were getting into. Early in the season, we knew that it was going to be a battle right from the jump. I feel like these last two losses that we had were really beneficial for us. It really helped us. It really gave us a good push going into our pack schedule. As a team, I think we always had our head in it. We were always getting after it. We never really felt like we were down. We always knew that the game wasn't over until it was over, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to see because, of course, you play your Penn Ridge and those teams, and you sort of developed a little bit of a rivalry, if you will, with Penn Ridge. You've played them a few times here now in the non-league schedule and in the playoffs. So, and then you're able to get the ship righted there, and now you're on a nice 6-game win streak, which I'm sure sits pretty good with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, Penn Ridge is a great football team, and as you know, they had a pretty special football player up there last year, and credit to their coaching staff and their team as a whole, but I've never seen another high school football player in person like that Nick Tarburton kid that's playing at Penn State right now. He was just, a little bit too much for us to handle last year. So they got us twice, and we got him back this year. So right now I think we're 2-2 against them over the course of the last two years. So, or going back to 2016, excuse me. But yeah, we're on a nice little run right now, and hopefully we can keep it rolling.
Austin, how tough was it for you? We were going to do the game on TV here, and then there's thunder and lightning and all kinds of carrying on down there. It was a mess, and we had a half-hour delay, and then we were there, and then we're there, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I would not want to play in that kind of situation, and you have to come back Saturday. Tell us a little bit about what was going through the players' minds at that point.
I think all of us were a little bit upset that the game was moved, but I think at the same time we were all super excited to be playing in the mud because having a mud bowl like that is something that you would kind of like dream for,
Yeah.
But yeah, we were super excited to go back and play them in our home field, especially on a big game like that.
Well, let's jump up now to last week, since this is the week we're talking about, and Austin had such a big game. It was your homecoming game, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. And we talked a little bit, Rick and I, before about the student enthusiasm at PV. Tell us a little bit about how that affects you guys and your games and stuff, because I think there's a lot of people that still don't understand that enthusiasm, the band playing, the cheerleaders. You look up and see your whole section filled up. That's a pretty good feeling.
Oh yeah, coming out right before the game, seeing all the fans cheering, it really gets us ready to go. The band, they come out every single time, showing us tons of love. Student section is always great. Yeah, they're always showing out for us, and it really helps us get our game to going,
And the only thing is, Coach, they tailgate in the area where I'm supposed to park. Now, I can't get a parking spot when I get down there, but your tailgaters are out in full force, and I would think as a coach, it's got to be a great feeling for you.
It's so awesome. I'm an alumnus of Perkiomen Valley, graduated in 1997, and to be back and be the head coach there and to see how the program has grown under Scott Furman and Scott Reed, it's just a community event down there. I have people come up to me over the weekend at youth games, and great game last night, Coach. Such an electric environment, and it's just neat. I feel like, I hope that our kids understand that not every high school football player gets to play in games like that, and in front of a community like that. So they really have something special at PV right now. It's really cool to see.
And Josie and I cringed when you said you graduated in '97. We're like trying to think back to when we graduated, and like, oh my goodness gracious, this young guy is really doing a heck of a job. But it is. I mean, I was very fortunate to play at Pottstown in the '70s when we were very good. We played in the Chestmont League. And we would have, 5,000 to 8,000 people every game. And every Friday we had a pep rally. The kids come out. They used to form a little gauntlet that we'd run through out to get to the midfield and all that stuff. And it really did mean a lot. And we had a great time. And this week, I guess, because you play Springford, it's even going to be ramped up a little bit for that one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's something that I've definitely been looking forward to for many years, actually. Like, playing against them has always been really fun, always energetic. Everyone's always showing out for that game. So it's definitely a game that I'll be looking forward to.
Well, it's at Springford, so you're going to play on the turf. Does
Yes.
that change some things for you, Rob, as far as the natural turf grass field that you play with at yours at Keenan Stadium?
We've been over at Springford 3 out of the last 4 years, I think, for this game. These kids all grew up with one another, playing in youth sports. They know each other very, very well. I don't think it's a big deal to be over there versus being home for us in this particular game. The style of football that we like to play, we depend on our speed and athleticism. So, it's been a rainy fall, as everyone around here knows, and our field, in spite of our school district's best efforts with our maintenance crew, hasn't really held up under those conditions. So I'm happy to be over at Springford again this year.
Yeah.
I think it benefits us.
I think so too. Last year you beat Springford 28-7. Your stadium was sold out. Brendan Schimpf had a heck of a game last year, and you only gave up a little over 200 total yards, and you forced them into 9 punts, 8 3 and out. So obviously defensively is really where things are going to work for you. Obviously you got to get ready, and I know the coach warned you, don't say anything to fire them up.
Yeah.
But you got to give us a little bit here, Austin. Obviously you're getting ready for Springford's offense. Ryan Engro, Scarcelli, Bryle, the wideout Baker, and those guys. So they have some skill players for you. You got to get ready to buckle down this week, huh?
Yeah, I think our defense is always ready to go. We love a great challenge. I feel like as if this offense we're about to see is going to be one of our biggest challenges this year. So I think as a unit, we're going to be ready to go, flying to the ball, just like we always have been.
That's awesome. And again, Coach, 2-time defending Pioneer Athletic Conference champion. So obviously there's a little pressure on you there to do what you've been doing. And I'm sure you and your staff are working on your game plan. And you're getting yourselves ready to go.
Absolutely. Our guys, I'm very fortunate to work with the assistant coaches that I have at PV. Football side, I mean, they're just great men and human beings and fathers, and they put in countless hours preparing, and we're excited for this one. It's going to be a great environment. I can't wait.
But and one of the things that gets overlooked a little bit too, Austin, is you do play offense. You do have 20 catches on the year. You caught a couple of touchdown passes, and I know you guys have sort of become the art of the broken play, if you will. Cole Peterson likes to, elude, extend plays and things, and you and Domini and the guys have been able to get out and get open. So you do have to work a little bit on offense this week as well.
Yeah, our offense we've been coming together. I feel as if every single position has been doing what they need to be doing. My boys, we're always getting after it, whether it be running, blocking, catching the ball. I feel like all of us have been really doing what we need to be doing to get points on the board and getting wins.
Yeah, Coach, Angro has thrown for 1,700 yards, 22 touchdowns. And I think the most impressive stat is only 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
So I guess, your secondary with Smith and Raleigh and these guys, they're going to have to be really on point this week, taking them on. And then, of course, all of a sudden we're finding out about this malicious kid who's 6'7" and 295, so he's going to be somebody for you to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Springford is an outstanding football program. They have 3 terrific wide receivers over there that this year the quarterback is getting the ball out of his hands quickly and in rhythm and accurately. Their defense, Coach Shine, Coach Mick, I couldn't have more respect for two coaches in our league than I do for those guys. They do an outstanding job. They always have us game planned well. I think on paper this year we're very, very evenly matched. We're very similar teams. It's going to come down to, who can handle the pressure of playing in front of 10,000 people better and who's going to protect the football.
And I'm looking forward to it as the PCTV network will be broadcasting that game Friday night. I will be in the booth with Scott Furman, who is a former PV coach. Well, Austin, we won't keep you too late. I'm sure you got film study to do and some homework and things. We talked about with Rasul Faison getting a 3.7. I'm sure your grades are where they need to be and on point.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I know Coach always does a good job keeping you guys intact. And again, I want to thank you. And we have our certificate here, courtesy of the complete graphics in the trophy and plaque shack. There's our guy Justin Rowley. He's our Player of the Week. You can take that home with you. And then also we have our little mini Heisman, if you will. So you can take that home and show all your guys what it's all about. And again, I want to congratulate you on a big year and a real big game against Boyertown. Congratulations and good luck on Friday. Coach,
thank you.
It's always great to see you. You're always real good to us here on the show. And we're looking forward to a great game on Friday night.
Us as well.
Okay, that's our Player of the Week, Austin Rowley, and his coach, Rob Heist from PV. We're going to take a quick time out. We got my buddy Joe C. waiting on deck. We're going to talk a little bit about the Eagles and the NFL right after this.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Established in 1916 and granted membership into the Philadelphia Golf Association in 1920, Brookside Country Club is well known for its challenging layout and true, fast greens. The William Gordon design provides a challenge for golfers of all abilities. Brookside Country Club offers traditional club amenities in a family-friendly atmosphere. Brookside Country Club, where elegance and excellence are par for the course.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
There we are, the dynamic duo. Again, I want to thank Denny Malloy and all the great people over at Fred Beans in Boyertown. Took care of my mom today. Her back window door thing was, the hydraulic lift thing was all screwed up, and they took care of her. And even though she forgot her book, she had to run over and get it again. But Denny and all his gang took good care of my mom again, and I appreciate that. And get over there to see him. Now's a great time to be buying cars in the fall of the season. You get some leftovers or some new ones ahead of schedule there. Check them out. Tell them that the Monday Morning Quarterback thing. Excuse me. Joe C., we missed you last week, partner.
Yeah, sorry.
It's so good. Hey, it's all good. My son Christopher did a nice job in your stead, and we had some chuckles and some laughs. I was able to beat him 4-1.
Did you guys
3-2.
take the Birds? Did you both take the Eagles?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he picked Kansas City over New England.
Okay.
And then we both picked the same game that we lost. I forget which one it was, but I had New England, and that's why I had one loss and he had two. But anyway, it's great to see you, bud. The NFC East now is starting to tighten up a little bit. Nobody really wants to distinguish himself from these things, but hey, Dallas, Eagles, and Washington all win this week.
Right, 3-3. Dallas, they actually look pretty good. With Cole Beasley, I don't know, but their defense played a lot better.
Yeah.
And then Washington with Alex Smith, they're 3-2. They're leading the pack there, but the Giants they're done. Even with Barkley, I think Eli is. He's playing his last games.
Yeah, he's gun shy. There's no doubt about it. And you feel bad for the guy. I mean, he was such a good quarterback. They won the Super Bowl, and he was always in his brother's shadow. But I think Eli certainly has carved out a real nice niche for himself. But it's kind of interesting. I'm watching the Redskins play, and I'm just saying, why in the world didn't they pay Kirk Cousins all that money instead of giving it to Alex Smith?
I don't know.
Kirk Cousins is 10 times better than Alex Smith.
Yeah,
I mean there had to be something there.
There must have been some type of friction between him and Gruden.
And Gruden or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Kirk Cousins is a nice quarterback.
Yeah.
And Alex Smith, he's not quite Eli status yet, but he's getting closer to that. He's older.
Well,
he's not.
When you say Eli, I think of Duck and Chuck. I mean,
because did you see his offensive line, dude? If you stand back there, you stand back there in that pocket one time and see those monsters come at you. You're going to duck and chuck.
Yeah.
They never.
But Eli made a career out of it.
I know, but he makes them. Man, I tell you, in the Super Bowl, a couple of those dimes he dropped in there were phenomenal. But the Eagles, they knock off the Giants 34-13. Which is a big win, even though, hey, they're all NFL teams. They could be the best or the worst. You still have to win. You still have to play the teams on your schedule. Carson Wentz, again, 72% completion. That's like the third week in a row that he's been well over 60%, which is good, and no interceptions.
Right, and that was the key. And the thing that I liked was the running game with Clement back. He looked solid. And of course, you got Zach Ertz, who's having an all pro season.
I still don't get the Smallwood thing, although he looks better than he's been. I still don't get it though.
He can't block. He can't pass protect.
And I don't know if Clement is hurt more than they're letting on. But to me, he should be getting the bulk of the carries. He looks like a spark in there. He looks like a guy that really boosts the team up a little bit. I still don't get the Smallwood thing, although he has improved and he's run a lot harder than he has in the past.
You heard that they were looking to go get LaShawn McCoy. They took that off. Buffalo's not going to trade him. And then all the Le'Veon Bell talk.
Right.
And then did you hear about in the tunnel coming out?
No, I did.
Howie Roseman was on side. Corey Clement went over to him right before the game, and he said, "You don't need to go get a running back."
Did he?
And Howie Roseman said, "Prove it."
Did he really? That's cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
Yeah.
I did not hear that.
I heard that one.
But Howie Roseman, like I said, I think he's done a nice job, but he still has left them. I thought he left them a little short in the wideout position and in the running back position, especially with Sproles coming back from that major injury, and also at the offensive line. You never knew you didn't know how Peters was going to react.
Right, and let me ask you this.
Okay.
Wisniewski.
I know. He's the whipping boy for some reason.
Why?
I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
Listen, you were always, I know, for the last 2 years, that was your boy, and I was like, and then last year, I agree with you.
They took Samalu out of there and put Wiz in there, and that improved it. I don't get it either. I don't get it. He's put him in
has
that
to
left
be
tackle.
something.
Yeah,
something.
I don't know. I agree. He's the one guy they've really come. I mean, his play certainly wasn't worse than Jalen Mills'
No
play.
way.
And they stick up for him. They give him every benefit of every doubt, which is fine. Try to build his confidence up, but don't take Wiz out and say he's the reason why we're having struggles on the offensive line. That was ridiculous.
I agree.
You know, I don't know about all that, but yeah, he is sort of a whipping
then, you know what? They put Rasul Douglas in, and
at the safety position,
which is the move.
Yeah.
As opposed to putting was it Jim?
Avante? Did they have Avante
Maddox? Yeah. And then what's the other guy they got?
Corey Graham.
Sidney.
Jones?
Sidney Jones.
Well, he's hurt, right? He's the corner
Sidney
that's hurt.
Jones.
Yeah.
He's hurt, but you know what? That could be a blessing in disguise because I think they were trying to get him in because they were so excited. He was a fourth-round pick with a first-round grade, and all that stuff. But Rasul Douglas is bigger, and Rasul Douglas is bigger and more physical, and I think more comfortable with the plays and where he should be. I think a lot of the mistakes that the Eagles had were, I think, and I heard it today on WIP, they're apprehensive on where to go and what to do. And they were playing like with apprehension as instead of just like with Austin was sitting here and just like you said, playing with heart and just putting his head down and just, and even Rasul.
You saw the dude.
And Rasul.
Now, would you be, if he walked out, would you look at him and say, man, he's going to intimidate me? No way.
No.
He looks like a little
you're
choir
like
boy.
6'5" with a beard
and this guy,
16-year-old.
but he plays. I'm going to tell you what, this kid can play.
Ferocious. Yeah,
he can play. Yeah, he's
I can
out
see
there.
that.
I really like this kid. I really do. And I certainly wasn't trying to build him up because he was sitting here. I call it like I said. That kid can play, and he's a tough little guy.
But that's what I think the Eagles were lacking. I think they might have had a little bit of Super Bowl hangover, a little bit, and Wentz coming back, Foles, Wentz, Sproles getting hurt, and I'm telling you, I think say whatever you want about LeGarrette Blount and say with Selleck.
Selleck I missed for sure.
But I'm telling you, I believe that those are missing pieces in the clubhouse, the kind of glue that keeps everything together.
Well, I don't think they would have missed LeGarrette Blount had Clement not hurt his leg and his hamstring a little bit there because he would have been more of a takeover kind of guy. All right, Joe, quickly, each week we do have a game ball that we like to give out. This week is certainly no different. I was up to see my buddy Paul. I actually saw him.
Looks good.
I got all cleaned up. And then I saw him at Planet Fitness, talking to him and having a good time with him. He's a good guy. He had his bout with cancer, and thank God so far so good. Knock on wood, he's doing very, very well, and he's been real good to us here for a long, long time. All right, who's your game?
I'm going to go first tonight. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens defense with 11 sacks and pitching a shutout.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
And they held him to 106 yards. I mean, I tell you what,
22
Joe,
minutes of offense.
I am proud of you. I really am.
Yeah, that's a couple weeks in a row.
You have learned. And I had that written down for my B.
Dave,
for
my B. From the best.
Hey, dude, I'm going to tell you, I really am proud of you because I had them written down as well. Guess who I'm going to go? And I'm going with Brock Osweiler of all guys.
Oh, you're not kidding.
I'm going with Brock Osweiler.
Oh,
he led Miami to an overtime win. He was 28 for 44 and 380, 3 touchdowns. They beat the Bears, and everybody's afraid of the Bears now because they got Khalil Mack. They think they're going right to the Super Bowl, but they're not. And Brock Osweiler gets my game ball for this week.
Nice.
All right.
I thought you were going to go with Gurley.
Nah. I don't like to go with those guys that are too obvious.
Okay.
But each week we do also have our by the numbers, and this week is no exception there. Our by the numbers is brought to you by my buddy John H. Griesmer Jr. We got his commercial all straightened out. We got rid of that Griesmeyer or whatever it is. It's now John Griesmer Jr. And I'm going with Saquon Barkley. He's my guy. He got me 37.9 fantasy points. My team at 192, dude. I'm on a roll. I won 5 in a row.
That's good for you.
It is. I'm psyched about it. I don't like it, but I'm having fun with it. And it's in our league over at Doc's Irish Pub there. over in Boyertown. We have a great time. Steve and Kurt and all the guys are a lot of fun to do with. Jimmy Vlahos is in it. So I'm 5-1 now, and Saquon Barkley is my guy.
And I swung and missed with Dalvin Cook playing. And
Did you really?
Yeah, Latavius Murray.
Well, he was a game time decision.
It was a game time decision.
Yeah.
I was at work and couldn't make the change. But I should have picked up Latavius Murray at 24 carries, 155 yards, and a touchdown and a win.
Well, real quickly, let me give you the clean-cut question real quick. Our Big Frank question of the week, brought to you by Clean Cut and my buddy Bigsy Batara, and keeping that Big Frank guy going on there, man. I tell you, he's been going for a couple years, but he's never forgotten, that's for sure. And I'm sure he's down there watching us, waiting for the question of the week. And we had so many good times with that guy. He was a fun man, and he loved his Philadelphia Eagles, Joe.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here's the question. Last week, Carolina beat the Giants on a 63-yard field goal by Graham Gano. He became the 5th kicker to kick a 63-yarder. 2 of them have a relationship with the Eagles. Can you tell me? Tom Dempsey. And who was the second one?
And Jake Elliott.
Incorrect.
Tony Franklin. No. Who else?
David Akers.
Oh, yeah, 62.
He had a 63-yarder.
He did have a 63.
For the 49ers. Tom Dempsey once was
Tom
the
Dempsey.
he was the
he
Eagles
played
kicker.
the Eagles and the Saints.
He was a Saint when that happened.
David Akers.
David
very
Akers.
Good. Yeah, very
and
good.
You know who the guy is? There's one guy ahead at 64. You know who he is, right?
I'm going to say Matt Prater.
Correct, for Denver in the Mile
Denver,
High area. All right, let's quickly get into our 5-pack picks, Joe. We're up against it here. Our 5-pack picks are brought to you by Izzy's on Third. I was there Thursday night. They have a great trivia night. A lot of fun there. I beat Christopher last week 4-1 to 3-2, so he's upset with me. Real quick, we got tonight's game. We got San Fran at Green Bay. Monday night game.
I'm going Green Bay.
Yeah, we both are there. That's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah.
How about Dallas and the Redskins? Our first real big-time game in the NFC East. They're traveling to Washington.
I'm going to say Washington. I'm going to take Washington.
I'm going to. I can't. I got to go Washington. I can't do Dallas.
Why not?
I can't.
Why?
I can't.
Okay.
I just can't
All
go.
right.
I can't
All
go.
right.
I got to go Redskins as well. And my buddy, number 52, Neil Olkowitz.
Oh.
How about the Saints? How about the Saints traveling to your team now? Saints going to Baltimore.
Well,
Drew Brees against that big-time defense.
Drew killed me being on the bye week this week because I have him in my fantasy. And then playing against that Baltimore defense isn't going to bode well. But I'm going Saints.
Good. I'm going Ravens. So finally we have one there. Hey, New England travels to Chicago now after that big win on last night when they knocked off Kansas City.
Did you see the stat?
That was a great game.
It was a great game, but did you see the stat? Quarterbacks that are 25 years or younger just do not win in New England.
Was it like 4-80 or something?
It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Even though this game is in Chicago, I'm still going to have to go New England.
Thank you. And, of course, we got our last one, Carolina at Philadelphia on Sunday. I think this is a big game for the Eagles, whether they're contenders or pretenders. I'm not a big Cam Newton guy. I'm going Eagles, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles as well because I am not a Cam Newton fan.
I'm not either. Well, Joe, I tell you, the time flies. You and I tell you, it's a lot of fun. I miss you when you're not here. Next week, we're back in the studio. We'll have some more time to talk and to see what's going on. But he's Joe C. I'm Dave Reinauer. Together, we are the dynamic duo. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Great show. Great to see Rasul Faison. And, of course, Austin Rowley, and, of course, Robbie Heist from PV. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next Monday night right here in studio at the PCTV Network.